Hello everyone, welcome to Indigo Tarot Odyssey and what you are meant to hear today. Today we have Rhinoceros, which is moderation, which we're all learning all the time, right? Especially when it comes to food and exercise and TV and all of the things that we should moderate. We also have Dolphin, which is happiness, yay, playfulness and silliness, summer energy, love it. And then Beaver, which is work. So I love this moderation card because this talks about, when we want to enter into a nice season and phase of tranquility with growth, we understand that we experience several learning spurts that come through, right? And they begin to pay off in interesting ways because we're showing ourselves we can learn this, but we can have self-control. We don't think we need to do everything. We don't need to think we need to eat everything, drink everything, know everything. It's one of those things that just really infusing that moment of whether it's like educating yourself on some issue. It could be anything. It could be like healthy food choices, vitamins, and again, not going overboard. If you're like me, we can be so tempted by those weird things that pop up on our IG feed and other things like, oh, if you have this vitamin, it is going to restore this and give you vitality and your teeth will be they will be strong and white forever and all these things. Like all of these things that come up, we think, oh, if I have more and more and more, more is better, right? Where no, it's like moderation is the key here. And our higher self will keep remind us too that, things that we used to chase and want will now be chasing us. So we can slow it down. We can become more moderate in our approach to things. Today, I just wrote things down. I sat under the tree in my backyard and just wrote and wrote and wrote and wrote all these interesting things and that I didn't even know that I wanted to achieve, places I wanted to go, people I wanted to speak to, all of that. And I was recognizing that once I saw it mapped in front of me, it was like, oh, all of this can happen very easily in due course. I don't need to make it all happen on a Monday, not this week, not even this month. It's one of those things where we moderately approach things and we will see these little individual shifts occur because we recognize, with a little clarification what we truly want and why we want it as well. I always have the why behind everything. That helps me in moderation. If I know why I want something, it doesn't mean I want tons of it. I don't want, it could be anything. Have you ever, I know for one, when I go out and I start to do things, I think, oh, if I have just 10% left in my engine, my personal vitality, sometimes I will just expend it on that last. I'll stop one more thing or do one more task and then totally dragging my butt in the door. So now I recognize, hey, listen, if you make big plans, do half of them and then save the other half and see, how you're feeling. And that brings us to Dolphin and happiness because that's what we should be scheduling and that is what we want. We want to, go out and really recognize all these impactful blessings that are around us. The fact that we have a yard, that we have a neighborhood beach, park, whatever, all of that. What would make you happy right now to do something? Who would you talk to that makes you happy? Where would you go that makes you happy? What would you eat or drink or read that would make you happy? And why aren't you doing that? Do it right after this video, if not during. If you want a nice cappuccino, go make yourself one. If you want to stretch and listen, music does it for me. I start putting on reggae and I will jam out. I love some Shaggy, brings up the mood. Like yesterday at Hagen's birthday, it was so nice just having Oreo cookie cake and laughing about birthdays past. And Joni shared this funniest freaking crazy balloon nightmare to bring he had a big balloon. It was a toucan. No happy birthday balloons anywhere at any of the stores. So she got him a toucan balloon and it was blocking her view. It was huge. It was doing all this stuff, being a menace. So she's like, I'm going to open the window and have it blow into the back of the car. No, instead it blew out the window and landed on the windscreen of the guy behind her, blocking his view. So then his windshield wipers wipe it away, but it has a little weight on it, which was the clip. So it wouldn't fly all the way away. So it only flew and drifted a yard or two over and landed on a fence and she was able to rescue it. But when they were regaling us with the story, it was so funny. We were laughing till our stomachs hurt because it was so silly and it just sounded like something out of a rom-com. And I always have some weird things that happen with balloons because it's not fun to transport them. But that is, those little stories, they make us happy, the silliness in it. And I feel like I think that all of us are going to move forward in a direction towards our goal and we're not going to let things stand in our way, not past failures, not everything, we are going to trust in the fact that when we do things that bring us joy, it makes us high vibrational. So when we're high vibrational, we do things that are in accordance like with our highest self. So we attract what we are. So we attract more happiness, more opportunities, all of that, just good vibes. I feel like a new era of your life is becoming unlocked right now with this work and beaver card right now, where you finally learned how to be in control. And that's the key that you needed to find to help you motivate for your work, to finish, to find better work. I love the idea that I will always have and create creative endeavors for the rest of my life. I will never run out of creative juice. I constantly say this. I've been listening to Louise Hay, and I honestly believe that we live what we tell ourselves and what we believe. So I do believe creativity has not run out in my well for many a year. Like ever since I recognize, and the weird thing about creative like juices, it multiplies if you try new things. Like I remember just starting jewelry, and then the colors made me wanted to paint, and then that made me want to do glasswork, and it made me want to do a myriad of other things, and it's like one seed goes to the next to the next. So I feel like work and happiness are going to go hand in hand for you, and it is important that we love what we do, right? Because if we're also earning our income and our prosperity that way, that money has good energy, and we are more gracious, and we are more generous with it as well, which makes it, oh, there we go on that beautiful cycle of give and receive, and feeling, hey, I've got a few extra bucks to tip this person for their great service, and then they pay it forward, and so on and so forth. It's a lovely combination, this work, moderation, and happiness, because it also, that speaks volumes just there, right? Work in moderation, play in moderation, because too much of one or the other, there's an imbalance there. So I love to just say, I leave my, like when I used to work outside the home, I leave my work at the door. If it was tenuous or there was drama or whatever, luckily I'm employed by myself. And the craziest thing happened too today. I was thinking about work and my kind of different revenue streams, and I thought, I was just guided to go over on TikTok, and they were like, you have $27 in your account. I didn't even know I was monetized. I don't even know how or why or how that happened. They're like, would you like us to send it to your PayPal? I was like, what? I was like, yes, TikTok, thank you for that $27. And I thought it was so great. It made me so happy to just, it's like finding that $20 bill on the street or something. I was like, it's one of those things where we find happiness in the little spots. And when we have a sense of love and devotion towards our work, it translates to who that work is passed on to, right? If you're making somebody, if you're a chef, you're making that food with love, right? It's like all of that, all those beautiful little things that bring you happiness. So something that I do too, before I start creating something, I take a moment to be grateful for what I have already produced. Before I move forward, I take a moment to appreciate how far I've already gotten. And before I doubt my abilities, I take a moment to see what I overcame to build what I have today. So my gorgeousnesses, that is what you are meant to hear today. Love and light. Have a great day.